Coming in person or watching this later on YouTube. We are all connected in this eternal moment of now. I'm so happy you're here because together we're going to focus on the energies of Cancer. Cancer is all about being in touch with our feelings, which might be a nice shift from all that Gemini thinking energy of last month. The Cancer energy reminds us of how important it is to mind our own energy. That is, how important it is to be energetically responsible, so to speak, and how easy it is to forget that, especially when things go sideways. Tonight, our focus will be on becoming more aware of what may trigger us and how those triggers may actually provide answers when we remember. And memory and remembering are connected with the Cancer energies. When we remember to go to our heart for support and answers. My name is Mary Beth Wollenschlager, and I'm the creator of Love Your Life in Sync. Love Your Life in Sync is designed to help you learn more about your heart, how it works, and how it can provide guidance by learning heart harmonizing skills. During this call, we'll practice a heart harmonizing skill and feel into what our hearts are capable of. At Love Your Life in Sync, we also use astrology to help us learn more about ourselves, what triggers us, as well as what inspires us. Your astrological birth chart, which shows where all the planets were when you took your first breath here on planet Earth, can provide an interesting perspective and create more self-awareness. As above, so below. Combining self-awareness and heart harmonizing skills can make a big difference in how you experience life. You can start to say, perhaps with greater frequency and authenticity, I love my life. Just like this mother-to-be, which is a very Cancerian image. There's a lot of feeling in this picture. You can feel her joy, which goes beyond words. See her devotion to family life. Devotion and family life are all very Cancerian. So let's get started by warming up our hearts. Our hearts have fabulous memories, another strong Cancer trait, memory. And when we understand how our hearts work and how to work with them, our hearts can really help us, especially when things go sideways. Let's harmonize our hearts by softening them. So I invite you to get comfortable. Close your eyes if you like. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area as you breathe a little slower and deeper, finding a comfortable, easy rhythm with inhales and exhales of equal length. This will help soothe the nervous system. And as we breathe together, focusing on the heart, I invite you to picture yourself under a beautiful waterfall. Just visualize you're safe, you're completely safe. Cancers like to be safe. So this is a safe waterfall, and there's some beautiful, rich, negative ions being released all around you to help clear your energy. So breathe in those negative ions. Breathe in that feeling of clarity, refreshing clarity. Allow our imaginary waterfall to refresh you. And let's start radiating that refreshing, renewing, revitalizing feeling to every cell in our body. Thanking every cell, being grateful for our physical bodies, letting them feel washed and renewed, revitalized. And now, once you feel filled up with that revitalizing energy, start sharing it in the space you're sitting in, the room or the building you're in, your home. Just start sharing it in your space. Feeling everything being refreshed. Let yourself receive the gratitude from your space, thanking you for taking this time to refresh the space you're in, to appreciate it enough to want it refreshed. And then let's start sending that refreshed, re-energized feeling beyond the four walls we're sitting in, out into our neighborhoods. My neighborhood could use a little refreshing because we're feeling the effects of the Canadian wildfires. So with intention, we clear the smoke, we refresh the air, and visualize clear skies, clear air. We visualize it spreading across the country, across the continent, until we see a refreshing air spreading over the globe. Letting not only the air be refreshed, but letting us be refreshed. Refreshed in our feelings, in our emotions, choosing something different, choosing to align with the heart, choosing to focus in on what the heart is capable of. The change, the energetic change the heart can bring about. So we share this energetic change with the planet, with every being on the planet, with Mother Earth herself. We let the ground feel the energy of revitalization, the soil. We let the oceans be renewed, cleaned up, cleared up, revitalized. We let the animals and the plants, the rocks and the minerals, the mountains, and we start to go off planet into the sky, letting the air and the atmosphere clear until we go completely off planet, out into outer space, sending out refreshing, revitalizing energy of love, kindness, and compassion. Giving thanks for everything we have, everything we are, all the planets, all of us working together, whether it feels like we're all working together or not. We really are all working together because we are all together. And what one of us does affects the other. And so we take this energetic responsibility seriously. And we know that no coherence ever goes wasted. So we intend and we feel the power of revitalization that comes through the heart, that comes through love. And on your next inhale, you can bring that love, that revitalization, that gathered strength as we send it out into the universe. Bring it back and recharge yourself, revitalize yourself in your space. And give thanks. Give thanks for all those who are working towards creating a better environment for all of us. And that really is all of us, regardless of what it looks like. And when you're ready, we will continue with our presentation. So you're welcome to come back into the physical space you're in and open your eyes. Okay, the Cancerian qualities, what to look for. What to look for this month to spy out the Cancer energies, whether you were born under the sign of Cancer or just because Cancer is in the air because the sun is in Cancer, or other people you know have Cancerian-like qualities. What are those qualities? What do those look like? Well, first of all, Cancer is what we call cardinal because it's the first sign of the summer season, and the element is water. Cancer is about feeling and emotions, and that's element is associated with water. And being cardinal, Cancers like to start things. They may not be the best at finishing things, just like Aries. Aries like to start things. Cancers like to start things. So we have here like the top of the river. And when we think about the river example, we know that the river sometimes has rocks in it. And so sometimes we have obstacles. But Cancer finds a way around those rocks. And Cancer tells us to go with the flow. It's about feelings. It's not about thinking your way through something. You can't think your way through navigating rocks in a rushing river. You have to feel your way through it. And also, we use the imagery of the waterfall during our heart harmonizing meditation. Those negative ions that help clear the air. Water can purify and clear. The planetary ruler for Cancer is the moon. And when the moon is full, our world seems more focused on emotions. When the sun is in Cancer, which is the moon sign, feelings are highlighted. The moon and Cancer are both associated with intuition and nurturing. That's why the moon is sometimes referred to as grandmother moon, with grandmother being seen as a very nurturing, caring, and loving influence. The Cancer season is also associated with growing. Those seeds that were planted and tended to during Taurus and Gemini are now growing and flowering. And flowering is the stage right before the fruit is produced. So Cancer is seen as a very fertile time. The symbol for Cancer is the crab. The crab moves sideways. So Cancer people can be more indirect than, say, an Aries, which is a very direct energy. Aries usually don't beat around the bush. You know what they're thinking and you know what they want. Cancers, however, being an inwardly focused yin energy, may hide behind their shell. Or cancers can sometimes look like they have a tough skin. But remember, underneath it all, there is a soft side, just like the underside of the crab. I find it helpful to remember we all have hearts, regardless of the tough exteriors that sometimes or the armor that we sometimes wear. Cancer is focused on security, especially family security, but it can get too caught up in security, thinking, I want you to be safe, so I feel safe. Or I feel safe when I know you are safe. Or even if I'm not worried about you, you may think I don't love you. And this is the perfect example of overcare. By overcare, we mean when we care so much, we end up draining our energy. When we are around those we love, this usually boosts our energy and is renewing. But if you find your energy is draining, this is an example of the heart and the brain being out of harmony and not working together. In order to stop this, we first need to become aware that our energy is being drained. We need to notice that we're feeling tired or exhausted. And then we need to recognize we can do something about this. This step may not be obvious or easy, but it actually is simple. We can use our hearts to redirect and stop the energy drain by taking a moment to do some heart-focused breathing, where we imagine our breath is flowing in and out of the heart, and we start to breathe a little deeper and slower than usual, finding an easy, comfortable rhythm. We make our inhales and our exhales equal in length, and this breaks our mechanical stress response by consciously changing our focus. The inhales and exhales being of equal length help to soothe the nervous system. Our energy begins to lighten up, and whether those around us know it or not, they can feel our energy shift, which means we have created a change in the energy field that we are in, both for ourselves and for those around us. This is a way to take energetic responsibility. And it's especially important, as well as challenging, to remember to do that when things go sideways. The colors that you can wear to enhance the Cancerian energies are cream, ivory, silver. The moon is always associated with silver, and earthy colors. So you can wear them, decorate with them. I like to burn candles with the colors associated with the sun sign. And that's a way to just tune in more to those energies that are available right now. So to help us tune into our intuition and into our feelings, let's see what the Cancerian energies and the tarot want us to feel this month. Let's move into our tarot reading by first getting grounded. If you're not familiar with tarot, no worries. If you can read pictures, you can glean a personal message from the tarot cards. A tarot reading is all about what the picture means to you. And since Cancer is a very intuitive sign, this is a great month to do a reading, and you are asked not to overthink things here. Just tune in and notice what you see in the cards. Then you may ask yourself, what does the question I just asked have to do with what I'm seeing? How does this relate to that? Reading the tarot cards this way provides a very personal wisdom reading. That's what we do on this call, to give all those present that wish to a chance to work with their own intuition and then share their wisdom with the group. Sometimes one person will see something and no one else will see it, but when that first person shares it, something else gets sparked in the second person or the other people that wouldn't have come into their awareness if the first person hadn't brought it up. Doing a live tarot reading is a practice that both enhances our intuitive muscle and we get to share our wisdom. First, I'm going to lead us through a grounding meditation. Then we'll all focus on the questions as I begin to shuffle the deck. I'm going to pull 2 cards, one for each question, and share the cards. Though it might be hard to see them but I will hold them up to the camera. Then I'll pause the recording, and those present live will look at the cards together and we'll do a group reading. I'll turn the recording back on and we'll share our reading with all of you. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, when we pause the recording, I invite you to pause the video. Look up the images of the cards on the internet. When you Google them, just look at the images. Resist reading somebody else's interpretation of what the card means. Ask yourself, what am I seeing? And then ask, how do these cards answer the questions that were posed? How does this relate to that? Okay, now I will lead us through a grounding and centering meditation to harmonize our energies. As we do this, we make the intention to get the most helpful guidance for the group we can from this reading. So I'm going to walk us through heart-focused breathing again, using this beautiful energetic waterfall with the negative ions to ground us. So bring your attention to the area of your heart and imagine your breath flowing in and out of the heart as you breathe a little more slowly and deeply, finding a nice, comfortable rhythm with equal inhales and exhales. As you continue heart-focused breathing, imagine yourself under this beautiful waterfall, safe and being refreshed and grounded. Let's just breathe together for a couple more minutes. Breathing in and intending that our tarot reading be as helpful as it can be for our whole group and for those watching in the future now moments as well. We trust, we ground in, we relax. No pushing, no forcing. Just allowing, going with the flow. Okay, now that we're grounded and centered, let's focus on the questions as I shuffle the deck. The first question is, what area of my life do I need to become more energetically responsible? I'm just going to shuffle a little bit longer as we focus on that question. What area of my life do I need to become more energetically responsible? Let me ask it a third time. What area of my life do I need to become more energetically responsible? And one of the cards jumped out. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to hold that up to the camera. All right. Well, the card, I guess I can't hold it up then, but the card is the Queen of Swords reversed. All right. The second question, why would it be beneficial for me to honor my feelings? And we got the Nine of Cups also reversed. I know we got a bunch of nines last month. I don't think we got the Nine of Cups, but we got nines. Interesting. Okay, so if you are watching with me live, I'm going to pause the video in a second. So let me pause the recording. And we're back. So we had a wonderful discussion, a bonus. It's a bonus being on this call and having a live conversation because you never know who you're going to connect with. And we just had a couple people really make a wonderful connection. So what area of my life do I need to become more energetically responsible? And we got the Queen of Swords reversed. So the swords represents the element of communication and thinking. And because we asked it about ourselves, the queen would represent ourselves. And also the card was reversed, meaning it's an internal. So it's what area of my life do I need to become more energetically responsible? So I need to pay attention to how I talk to myself and what I think about myself. And then we also, well, actually, I'll just turn to the crowd. For those of you that were on live, if anyone would like to unmute and share a little bit. Joan, I think you had some other things to add to that.
Yeah, I've recently been dealing with a lot of health challenges. And I did something that I really hadn't done to this extent before, of really, no kidding, putting my health first and working with my energy and tamping down the panic but I'm not getting the business tasks done that I need to do. And what's happening is the way I feel about the priorities in my life have shifted, and my health is taking a great leap forward. I'm literally youthening.
Yeah,
And
that's
and I'm 75, so I'm no spring chicken here. And my organs are actually getting younger.
and
So
sorry, Joan, I don't mean to keep interrupting you.
no, that's okay. Go right on. That was really all I had.
Well, I just wanted to share that you shared with us that you have the moon in Cancer, and you said you went deeper than you ever have, and you were feeling into it. So you chose your health, and those are, I just wanted to point out that that's a great example also of the moon in Cancer. It's like going really deep and like looking at this really go, you had to go deep. You couldn't let it be superficial because it's about your health and you're feeling better. So that's just like awesome. So thank you, Joan. All right. Is there anybody else that wants to add anything? All right, I think we're going to move on to the second question. Why would it be beneficial for me to honor my feelings? And we got the 9 of Cups reversed. So we said a couple of things. So cups, again, have to do with water. And so that has to do with emotions. And, why would it be beneficial to honor my feelings, my emotions? The 9 of Cups, the individual is sitting with, in sort of like a wall. The cups are behind him. So the cups, you could think of the cups as emotional support. So when you honor your feelings, you tune into that emotional support because you're supporting yourself. And you can't, like we said, you can't fill from an empty cup, and you can't support anyone else unless you're honest with yourself and you know how to support yourself, because then you're going to be authentic. And then Joan, you had some wonderful insight about the imposter syndrome. Would you like to share what you said about that?
Sure. Was there any particular point you'd like me to begin
Well,
with?
you talked about, like, because he can't see the cups, they're behind his eyes. You talked about when things are in our brain, they're behind our eyes, and about getting them out in front, and the benefit of that for us.
Yeah, well, one of the things I was talking about was the issue of imposter syndrome is when people actually do have the talent, the experience, and the knowledge to do work, and they don't feel completely legitimate. in using it. And part of what I've seen in dealing with that with people is that mostly it's because what they know really is, as you said, behind their eyes. Just like the cups are behind him. He doesn't see the resources, or he can't see from his position the resources and the richness of what he has assembled. And for us, when we honor our feelings, I often say your head will tell you stories, your heart won't give you lies. Your heart will tell you what's true, whether you like it or not. And if you combine that with moving the resources out from behind your eyes, out to where you can see it, whether you journal about it, talk about it, however you do that, but you get that out, you don't really have to deal with imposter syndrome, because as you build your own sense of legitimacy, it just disappears. And I don't like to look through the garbage. I just like to take it out. So that's really what came to me in looking at that card. That's our connection to truth is really heart-based.
I
And
love that.
and fortunately, our heart bosses our brain around if we know to let it do that.
Yeah, when we learn how to use what our heart is capable of and how to use it, then the heart does boss the brain around in a good way. In a good way. So I guess to summarize, why would it be, or what, one of the things we came up with, recapping, why would it be beneficial for me to honor my feelings? To get rid of imposter syndrome. That would be fabulous, wouldn't it? That would be really, really great.
Yeah, it's especially good to get rid of it because imposter syndrome is not true.
Right, yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
dealing with something that's not true, and it's really hard to work with something legitimately if we're not working with the best truth that we can get our hearts and heads and guts working with.
Well said. Very well said. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope this reading was insightful for you, for those that are live with me on the call, and for those of you that are watching it in the future now moment. I hope you take some time to really let these words sink in. There's some really good stuff here. It goes deep like cancer. All right, so now I think we're ready for our final thoughts. So I heard this week. The more I judge, the less I see, and the less I hear. So it's about taking energetic responsibility. I just thought this was so powerful because judging is a real energy drainer. And when we are judging, we are not being energetically responsible because we're putting our judgment out into the field and we can't see and we can't hear. And there is also, I just also want to point out, the energetically responsible, to point out there's a difference between judging and observing. Observing is just noticing without any commentary on whether something is right or wrong. It's just neutral. And I don't have to get my knickers in a knot over it. So it's acknowledging just what is going on. And now for a more lighthearted energetic responsibility suggestion, follow the wisdom of babies. Take a nap when you need it. You can tell that this is a wise baby with those glasses on, right? A little moon child here. So that is our presentation for this evening. Our next call will be on Wednesday, July 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll soak up the Leo energies just like a sunbathing lion. So thank you again for watching. If you are live, I'm going to be stopping the video and we can have a little chat. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to join us live next month, please visit loveyourlifeinsync.com and sign up to be notified. You'll receive the link for the Zoom call. If you're interested in an astrology reading or learning more about how your heart works and what it can do, please contact us. Have a wonderful 4th of July, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.